Namaskar. Thank you all. Uh, Through Shri, I have met Dr. Shekhar Mayanil last year at the yoga. So my background is I'm based out of Bombay all through my life. When I say based out of, I was born in Trivandrum, but parents have been in Bombay all through. My dad used to work for Hindustan Levers, so I had most of my schooling and college out of Bombay. I went to Podar College for my academics. And very early, what happened is in our building, unlike all the stalwarts who have spoken in this particular group, none of my qualifications have anything to do with science. And that comes from a background because the building that I stayed in had about 14 or 15 of the seniors who were all in finance. So the demonstration effect was big. So I started doing my academics, which was primarily, so what happens is if you're a Madrasi, you end up doing academics and doing nothing else. So we started doing, so at a very early age, I started doing something like 3 academic courses simultaneously. So I did my BCom, then I did my chartered accountancy and cost accountancy along with my BCom. Then I did my company secretaries and law along with my immediately after BCom. And then I did my management accounting from UK and then corporate treasury from UK. So very heavy finance focused. Worked for about 15 years in finance and then suddenly figured out, what am I doing? Technology was something which was there. So I shifted in 1998 to the enterprise resource systems, which is called SAP. So that is a German software, and I got certified. And the whole idea was at that time to come to the US to educate both our daughters. So we have a small family of 2 daughters, and my wife and I again come with a bit of finance background. I used to work with Warner Hindustan back in India, which is now Pfizer. Getting into technology, I spent another 16 years. So which basically at one point of time, so 2014 was a very turning point for me. I had gone to India for my father's 81st birthday, which is actually the 1,000 moons, which is actually what we say according to our Hindu Sanatan. And that was a very, very momentous year because in 2014, June 22nd, my mother passed away. Very much, it was very sudden. She had a massive cardiac arrest. So I wanted to understand what is it that happens when you go through something like that. So that took me on a journey, which actually resulting with what I've been doing today. So I took on to understanding the death mantras. So I went and got into death mantras. From there, it went into some scriptures. I went on to learn something on the Agama Shastras. And then I was traveling very extensively in India. When I say extensively in India, I was covering only monuments and temples specifically, which were more than 1,000 years old. And I had a very small journey, but out of that 20 days, I spent 3 days in Khajuraho. So that was my first point in time. I was just dumbstruck with the monuments that we saw there. And I started writing down some notes, and that was around and that book is still not complete. It's called I Have a Dream. How do Agama Shastras convert into building temple structures? So right from a conceptualization to delivering of it, it's about 58 chapters. I went on to the Harvard Medical School, and there is one neurophysicist called Judy Bolt. I read her particular book, and that was very interesting because she had an out-of-body experience when she had a stroke. And she talks about how the whole particular operation was done in the theater, and she was a witness to it from an external person perspective. And that was a big influence because I wanted to understand what the right brain and the left brain thinking was. So that took me on a journey, which then took me to sculptures, which are primarily around the South Indian temples. I traveled very extensively in Satara and I did a Chhatrapati Shivaji trail, especially during the COVID time. And at that point in time, the poetry in stone took me to a journey. And that's one reason why Shri was saying that I started with yoga, but he has not seen me doing yoga very seriously, which I practice and promised myself that I will start from this week. So I started writing a book on dance. very unusual, but that was the journey that took me to write this book on Bharatanatyam. So it's a very exhaustive book. It's took me about 4.5 years. It's about almost 40 different authors. Started with Manmohan Ghosh on the Natya Shastra, and from there went on to do a few more researchers, and then it is about a 600-page book. I could give Shri one particular copy, and that was actually a copy which we got for what I would say as proofreading. The final version, Shri would come in about a month's time. I would be able to happily contribute a few more copies for that. And this book is primarily around how the whole particular concept of yoga, which takes on to understanding Shiva, and then I went on to learn a bit of astronomy, astrology, Veda, connected that with the science. I was at Geneva at the Institute of for the Higgs boson for the nuclear physics particle, because Baba Atomic Energy has actually donated a 6 feet tall Nataraja statue to the Institute of Physics. And I was thinking, what was so interesting for them to receive the Nataraja statue? Then I read some particular research articles by Frank Capra, who's an Austrian physicist, to understand, and he talks about the Rudra Tandavam and the Ananda Tandavam and the possibility of creation. So that took me on a journey. And then I went on to understand how horoscopes are written. And then I went into the understanding of what is Navagraha, what is the Navagraha components, what is the referential integrity to the whole particular solar system, and went on to understand when you go to the temples, when you see the Dvajastambha, which is right outside, that has a concept of a true north, and then the true north with the celestial north, and then the precession of the whole Earth's system. And then went on to cover very, very detailed, exhaustive parts of it in the Bharatanatyam book. It is very, very technical in terms of the Bharatanatyam components of what they do for the Bharatanatyam contributions. So right from the Adavus and the Namaskar, which is basically, think about Shri as our, like what you tell us, it's like just getting ready to start doing the pure yoga. So it's got all the Anga Shuddhis and components, which is there for the parts of it. And then there is a very detailed advanced study of, I did something called what is the Rasa Sutra. So the Rasa Sutra is what is called as a determinant, and then the Vibhava, and then comes eventually to the finale of what component of what happens on stage with the ambience, and then you build on to the props which is there for the theater, and then you add on to the additional components of how do you construct the whole particular dance drama part, and then the audience leaves with the essence of it. And then I did some studies on Dhwani, which is around the physics of sound, and then went on into learning what is the frequency levels that human ears can do, what is the levels of tonality, diction, audio, volume, then went into numismatics, evolution of language for the Dhwani, and then the point is how do we use that part? And then Shri, I think I should point out to one particular chapter in the book, which is very close to what you teach, because it talks about the Kundalini and the Garbhagriha. What is the Vimana? What is the importance of the temples? How does it talk about the whole Yoga Sutras and then the parts of the Kundalini awakening between the Ida and the Pingala? And I covered on to something called the Guru Sishya Parampara, and then the Ranga Pravesham, which is basically the first dance which people do for the Bharatanatyam, and concluded with about 26 of the dance gurus who actually helped me compile the whole particular book. So it's got about 120 scholar references and about 740 photographs, and a good 4.5 kilos is the final version of the book. From a personal perspective, that has been satisfying to
Can I
share.
just stop you just for a minute? Sorry about this. I have a meditation at 9:30. So this meeting can continue. You can ask questions and everything. I have made Shekhar Vayanil the host, and sorry, I had to leave, but I will watch the recording and also will put it on YouTube soon. Okay. Thank you very much, Ram, and thank you, everyone.
Sure.
Sorry about that. So go ahead,
Thank you
continue.
so much. Sriji, thank you.
Thanks.
So just to conclude on a family and a personal level, so we have 2 daughters. Our elder one She finished her computer engineering from University of Maryland, and she works with Oracle applications in HR. She heads their global delivery and development. She's one of the youngest directors for them. Our second daughter, she's an OBGYN surgeon to be doing some fellowship, and she's at Brooklyn, New York. So that's our journey. So happy to answer any questions if at all I can. So because I did not do science, I did that after with no fear of exams to write. So it was a learning, and the journey has been absolutely fantastic. There's a big influence of Dr. Shekhar's part because I've been watching his Hanuman Chalisa part, and I've included a lot of those components in the next book that we are doing. So I've got about 5 to 6 books, which is coming up.
Amazing, amazing. I'm so honored. I'm so honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll pause here and pass it off to you, Shekharji.
Yeah, that's okay.
So
Who else
you
has-
studied all this while doing SAP?
Actually, I moved away from SAP about 5 years back, and I'm now heading Microsoft Dynamics SAP implementation for what we call as finance and operations. I actually started it only about 6 years ago, Shamji. So that is the journey for the last 6 years only. We actually published 2 books on what is called the Pallavas of Kanchipuram. So I'm a very history buff, if you like, primarily Indian history, and that too. So I'm doing another book which is called Timeline, which is 5 different, I would say, clans. So Pallavas, Pandyas, Cholas, Cherans, and the Chalukyas. So the book covers from 285 BC to 1320 CE. I was on a whirlwind trip to India, just had 3 book launches in India, one in Mumbai, Chennai, and Bangalore. And from this book of Bharatanatyam, I've pledged every dollar or every rupee that is coming out of the sale of the book will go to charity. In Bombay, I just contributed 50,000 to Asha Sadan, which is one charity I've been associated for the last maybe 20 years. And in Bangalore, I've been associated with Unnati, where we are actually helping children who are finished 10th standard and 12th standard to get their families into some orientation. So I've just announced a 1 lakh scholarship every year, beginning this year. And we are helping about 20 families back in India who are impacted by COVID, and they are the Bharatanatyam dancers. And I'm very deeply connected with the Hindu culture part. And Shamji, like you said, I've been a part of the Hindu University of North America. So I'm going back to learning Sanskritam as a spoken language. It's a 6-semester course which starts in another 1 month from now. So that's been my journey.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, what I'm hearing.
Amazing.
Oh my God, it just, usually we hear the same old, but everybody, all of you are so unique and amazing. So I need to look at the recording again to just digest everything again, what everybody has done, especially you, Ram. So
Can we look up your books anywhere, like on Amazon or something?
Yes, the 2 history books are on Amazon, but actually the Bharatanatyam book.
What is your full name, by the way?
Sorry?
What is your full name? Can you put
Oh,
that?
my name is Ram Krishnamani.
Krishnamani.
So,
Ram Krishnamani.
yeah,
Okay.
Krishnamani is my father's name.
Okay.
And I will be bringing some books on the day next Saturday so that I can distribute some copies. They're actually still the proofread copies because I'm expecting the final copies by about end of April. We are also publishing it online, but that's something which is going to still take about a week or 2 from now.
But if you can bring each of those books to the next year,
Oh, yes.
each meeting will be nice.
Yes. So one is in Tamil, 2 are in English. Will do. And essentially the part, I'm also working with a couple of my friends called Naina Gaude. She was my colleague 25 years back. We are doing an iPhone app and an Android app for Shall We Dance? We call that's the name of the book for Bharatanatyam, for learning Bharatanatyam. So it's like, show me how, tell me how. There is no other app on the Google Store for that. And there is one app on Bharatanatyam in the Apple Store, but we were not sure that is of the best quality, what we think should be. So inspired very heavily by Dr. Shekhar's book called The Gravity of Gratitude.
Yeah.
I have it right in front so that I don't miss it on a single day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know very well how it got written. It is if somebody else wrote it and he put my name there. That's all.
Shekharji, I think that's how this book of dance came about, because I don't know after a point how it got written. And the last 4 days, so I was in Atlanta yesterday. We were doing the book launch. That was the first book launch in the US. I actually have authorization from my managing director. I work for this company called ProTVT Consulting. I am allowed to do the book launch in 26 cities in the US, right from the East Coast, which is Boston, going all the way to Orange County, which means every single office that we have got present. So, Shekharji, we are coming to Chicago. There will be Austin, there will be Houston, there will be Dallas, there is San Francisco, there is got about 4. There is one in Orange County. And I ended up with 23 engagements, which came out of the 4 book launches. So the Tamil book has been taken over by another publication from South India. They will take over it and they will market it and they will take it to the literary festivals. I have engagements which takes me to New Zealand, Sydney, Melbourne, Malaysia, Singapore.
Wow.
In Sri Lanka, we are meeting the president. In the
Wow.
month of May, we are taking it to the White House. In London, we are meeting the city mayor in Harrow, and then we're taking it to Toronto. I've got a speaking engagement in University of Duke, the Hindu Temple in Cary, Virginia, and then I'm also doing a show in Dubai, Muscat. In Kuwait, there's a very, very big dance drama festival where we are presenting the book, collecting as much money. $75,000 is what I've pledged for charity. We'll be doing it in Doha. May 18th, we are doing a very, 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 very big. Shekharji, you'll have to come back for that.
Sure, sure.
In Maryland. So I was very fortunate. One of my dear colleagues called Sopan Shinde, with whom I worked in 1987. And then I met him 3 Saturdays back. He stays in Silver Spring, which is 10 miles from here. His daughter, she's the age of 13. She has a Guinness Book of Records by reciting the entire Bhagavad Gita at the age of 11
Wow.
in Houston, Texas. And what is the chance that Sopan's wife, Padma, she's a CPA and a finance person, but she's also a director in a Bharatanatyam school, which is 4 miles from where we stay.
Aha, beautiful.
So I'm told that I will be allowed to be the chief guest for the May 18th, which is attended by maybe 700 people. I'm hoping to sell as many books.
So there in Atlanta, did you launch the book?
Yesterday we were at Cumming
In Cumming?
near Alpharetta. Yeah. Shamji, I did not know enough about you.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
we
you
would
would
have
have been
come
there
there.
as a chief guest.
And what, some temple there?
No, in fact, there is a very dear friend of mine. He owns a restaurant called Mayuri Indian Grill.
Yeah, we know that.
We know that.
Oh, this was actually in the hall attached to that.
Okay.
And through one of the Bharatanatyam gurus there, her name is Dilani Satish. And she teaches there. And they were actually performing at the temple, the new Durga temple, which is there in, I think, Alpharetta.
Yeah,
We
Durga.
were there for the Shivratri for the entire night. And we lost our luggage. So we were in the airport for Shivratri till 2 o'clock. Then we went back to the...
The India spine straight, right? Anyway, great. You're doing so much for Sanatan Dharma. That is amazing.
It's
Amazing.
amazing.
I mean,
It's
I think
amazing.
you should be promoted heavily everywhere.
That's what I was telling Shri, that we want the platform because the idea is that this dance should go to as many people. But the brilliant part is, without the Bharatanatyam dancers knowing that it is connected with Shiva, significance of Shiva, the yoga, the sutras, the part of Kundalini rising, Dhwani, the numismatics, and all of what connects, they do not know enough. And according to, so what also happens is we are taking this book to the Library of Congress.
So your book is already published, right, in Amazon, this dance one?
The dance one is not in Amazon. The dance one is self-published. I got 2,000 copies published.
Oh, okay.
The first 70 were out. I will bring some sample copies. So Shekharji, your copy will be there. I think I've got about
Thank you.
about 8 copies I will bring, so that those
Wonderful.
are the content part which I can give, but the original print copies are coming by April 30th.
Okay.
Which
Thank you
will
so
read,
much.
so I will give you all enough to start reading and then replace with the original one, because form over content. The final
Yes.
book is 600 pages, 105 GSM, so that's about 4.5 kilos. And the version which we printed for the comparing of what the parts of what we call as proofreading was all in 30 GSM paper, but that's still
Oh.
about 2 kilos.
Oh, amazing. Wow.
What is the title of the book?
It's called Shall We Dance? Sensing Visual Karanas.
Oh,
I can show you the book.
Wow.
I see.
Wow.
That is.
Shall we dance?
I'll actually, Shekharji, if I can share screen, actually have
Sure,
a
sure.
screenshot. I have a screenshot of that.
Let me see if I can make you host.
Don't worry, I'm already sharing screen.
Oh, yeah, you already. Okay, great.
मुझे बैटरी लो है। Sharing the
So, sorry. So that is how the book looks.
Shall we dance? Shall we dance?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So I'll
Excellent.
stop screen, because idea was wanting to just share screen on that.
Beautiful. Excellent. Excellent.
Shamji, I look forward.
Anybody has any questions for the other esteemed speakers today? Lalji,
Yes,
Bharadwaj Muni Basahi Paprayaga.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Nahin
Yes.
Ram Apana Ati Anuraga.
Very true, very true.
Balkan. Hum Manas
Balkan, yes,
Premi.
Bharadwaj Mun, he asked
Yagyavalkya ji.
Yagyavali
Yagyavalkya ji.
about Bhagwan Ram की भगवान राम कौन है आप बताइए
वाह भाई वाह।
उनको मालूम था फिर भी वो पूछ रहे थे उनसे
Yes, yes, yes. हम
तो
राम
बोले कि
रा-
अच्छा तुम मुझसे पूछ तो रहे हो लेकिन
Right.
मुझे मालूम है तुम सब जानते हो
हाँ,
तब फिर
correct,
तुलसीदास जी वहीं से शुरू करते हैं
correct,
सती
correct.
जी की कथा से
मेरा जन्म भरद्वाज मुनि आश्रम के सामने हुआ था,
और ये तो मेरा हाथ
प्रयागराज में। मैं प्रयागराज का मेरा जन्म
पैदाइशी
हुआ
है
है।
आपकी
और मानस
मेरा
प्रेमी,
हाथ
हम बचपन से मानस प्रेमी हैं।
अच्छा वेरी गुड वेरी गुड हम बगल में रहते थे आनंद भवन के बगल में डायमंड जुबली हॉस्टल था
राइट राइट राइट।
Yeah.
वाह भाई
बहुत
वाह।
अच्छा
Shekhar ji,
हाँ जी।
I have no questions. Hi, my name is Aarti. I have no questions, but I'm just simply amazed by everyone's journey. I want to thank everyone for sharing their experiences, and I'm just so inspired from everyone today. So thank you for sharing.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Aarti ji.
yes, Sri Yoga family is so much blessed with have such a scholars and well-read and well-educated people. Really,
Right, right.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, tomorrow I'll say that to Shriji, Guruji, that because of him, I came to know with this, amazing group of people. I did not know. I live in New Jersey, so good to
Beautiful.
know you and your accomplishments. It just,
That's great.
yes.
It is amazing.
And
Thank
quite,
you. We're looking forward to meeting everybody on 16th.
All
Yes,
right.
yes, we are looking forward to it. Yes, certainly. Madhuri ji, are you coming also or not?
I'm thinking because I have some commitment on 17th, so I had to
Oh,
decide
okay.
whether I can make it.
Madhuri ji,
Yeah, will be nice if you can.
yeah, it will be great.
It's in the evening, so right? Yeah, so
Yeah,
that,
it's in the evening, 16th evening,
yeah,
Saturday.
5 to 10, I think.
right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. I'll definitely think.
Okay.
Ramji, are you coming? Ram?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
I don't have an excuse. And actually,
We get
so
to see you.
Shekharji doesn't know, or maybe Shekharji knows that I'm his
Yes, I
designated
do know.
driver to go
Yes.
to Philadelphia.
Go to see.
And
is,
some of
it
you
is,
have,
what a satsang that, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I cannot believe it.
yeah, I think some of you mentioned that you have connection to Satara,
Yeah.
Sham and
Yeah, in fact, what happens is the Bharatanatyam book by Dr. Padma Subramaniam, she connects the 108 Karanas, which is present in 5 different temples. Out of that, one is in Satara.
okay, because
So
my
what temple is that?
So I think it is the
Yauteshwar.
no, this is actually the Devi temple. I'll get the name of that to share.
Okay, because my father's family comes from Satara, so
I see.
that's, you know,
No, it's very interesting that
Did you grow up in
Satara-
Satara?
No, I used to go there at least twice a year, and I grew up
see.
in Pune, but my uncles and all, they are all doctors and they are in Satara. So it was
see.
nice to hear that.
No, it is amazing because out of the 5 temples, and I've actually visited 4. There is
Okay.
one more temple which is called Dharasuram, and I tried going to Dharasuram 3 times. Last year it was flooded. Year before last it was flooded. 2 years back when I went, the temple had half of the compound of the whole Garbhagriha was flooded. So we
Oh.
actually went from the side and we could
Wow.
see a lot of those parts. So,
Oh.
and this year I'm going to the place again, and I hope to meet Dr. Padma Subramaniam. She was supposed to release the book since she got her Padma Vibhushan. She was not available and she was in Bangalore. In how many of y'all have been into Mumbai? So there is a Mumbai Cricket Association. So I was in Mumbai Cricket Association. This book is also selected to be in the library there.
Oh, okay.
So every day there is something new which is happening.
Yeah, that's
I'm
cool.
also doing a talk for the CA Institute in Nairobi, Kenya, and also Bharatanatyam launch in Kenya too.
Wow.
Very nice.
Amazing.
Milenge, so we'll see everybody on
See you.
16th.
Yes.
Very nice meeting everybody.
So I have
Namaskaram.
my name is
Excellent meeting you.
Uma and I'm
Yeah.
from Atlanta. Actually, I'm a neighbor and very good friends with Navates. And whatever Sham spoke, he's just a wonderful person, very good friends. We are family friends also. But I found that I have connections with everybody. Yeah, Ram, you studied in Podar and I studied in SIS College. And I was from JB Vacha High School. I was in Parel Railway Colony. And then somebody said they are from Muradabad or Muzaffarnagar, and my family is from Saharanpur, so which is very close to Muzaffarnagar.
Yes.
And so I find that there is some connections everywhere, and I enjoyed. I'm so glad that I put the Oscars on record so that it can be recorded. And I'm attending
There is
to
nothing much to see there.
yes. So
I just saw it for the first 10 minutes. It's awful. The jokes he made, and I couldn't hear that.
I do get interested being from Bombay, all this Bollywood and all. So I'm also in Hollywood, interested in Hollywood also. But I'm so glad that I put it on for recording. But I attended this talks and got to know all the the highlights of everybody's accomplishments and their families and everything. So I enjoyed it, and kudos to everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sambhai.
Raviji,
Thank you.
pranam.
Ram, your research in Indian heritage is amazing.
All right. Looking forward to see Ram and Sham.
Yes.
Ram and Sham.
Yes,
I was
I
just
know.
gonna say that. Sham
I wish
Nawaz
to
is
I wish to say to Ram Krishnamani, I'm so grateful to be able to attend these presentations by all of you, and especially I want to say Jai Shri Ram.
Yes.
Live like Ram.
Yes, Sri Ram.
So interestingly, so I'm doing 2 more projects. I met Pandit Bhajan Kishori Sapori's wife, and so he's basically a santoor player and he's a child prodigy. So I'm going to work with him on his coffee table book for Abhay Sapori's because I was trying to talk on Kashmiri Shaivism last year at the Somnath temple, but that got cancelled because of this. And then with one of India's first voice trainers called Anant Vaidyanathan. So I'll be doing a project and work with him as well. So
Do you sing? Ram, do you sing?
No, I don't. Good question.
Background, physical background, so I'm sure.
No.
Yes,
my
he-
wife,
yes,
my
he
wife
is a very good
sings.
singer.
You
No, my
dance?
daughter, the elder one, she sings well, and our
Yes,
second daughter,
Shyam
she
sings well too. Shyam sings very well.
We'll look forward to it.
Really?
Oh, yes.
I haven't heard Sham.
Actually,
You should hear
Shyamji,
solid
actually,
singer.
Shyamji, I'm going to
And
request.
Aruna also.
So, Shyamji, one request I will do is this Anant Vaidyanathan, we are bringing him to the US. He'll do 2-day voice training workshops for singers. He had done that in 2017. So, I will look forward to working with you to see what we can do to promote the singing.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Great. All right. See you. Okay.
नमस्ते
Okay.
दादाजी
Good night,
Namaste,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Ravi ji, namaskar.
Namaskar.
आपसे बात ही
नमस्ते
नहीं हो पाई.
Namaste.
Thank
नमस्ते
you
यमुना
so
जी
much.
Namaste. Ji.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, all
Thank
of
you.
you.
Bye, Shekhar.
जी,
Bye, Shekhar.
और
Thank you.
हम
नमस्ते
भाई उस दिन गाना गाना है आप
श्याम जी, नमस्कार.
बिल्कुल.
Bye, Shyam.
अरुण, आपको भी
नमस्ते.
गाना गाना है.
Okay.
अरुणा नहीं गाएगी,
Good night.
श्याम
हाँ
गाएगी.
अपना भी गाएंगी.
Okay.
Okay. Good night,
Bye.
all.
अच्छा,
Bye.
Bye.
bye everybody.
Bye.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.